Thanks so much for joining us for 9 News at 5. I'm Phil Lipoff.
I'm Jennifer Meckles. Colorado has pulled more than 300 commercial driver's licenses after the Trump administration threatened to pull $24 million from this state.
9 News reporter Spencer Soisher joins us now. And Spencer, this is all part of the federal government's effort to crack down on invalid CDLs and states not taking action on them.
Yeah, the feds ran a nationwide audit a few months ago and said it found Colorado and a handful of other states were breaking federal law with how they were issuing commercial driver's licenses. But the transportation secretary said this week that Colorado was slow walking its purge of those CDLs and threatened to pull funding from the state if they didn't do something about it. So they pulled those licenses, and without much notice. Just 2 days before Christmas, the Colorado Department of Revenue raced to get itself off the Trump administration's naughty list. The feds say they're cracking down on truckers without valid commercial driver's licenses and those with licenses given improperly.
I think a big part of this, that drove the whole discussion on this has been some, when I say high profile crashes that involved individuals who did not have legal status.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy threatened to take away $24 million from Colorado if it didn't pull the licenses and take action on expired term limit CDLs. Those are commercial driver's licenses issued to people with temporary status whose CDL expiration date extends past their status end date.
It isn't like a new law or anything like this. I mean, this has always been out there in terms of that you had to have the status on this end of it.
So Colorado made a move. The state says it revoked 262 term limit CDLs for a total of more than 300 licenses revoked, the majority from Mexico. The state says it told the affected drivers in an email.
All of a sudden, they don't have a job.
Greg Fulton is the president of the Colorado Motor Carriers Association, a trucking industry group. He says this has been brewing for some time, but doesn't think it'll have a big impact on the industry.
We're in a freight recession. I mean, our freight volumes are down.
Colorado Democratic Governor Jared Polis said this is a case of crossed wires and that the state was already planning to revoke the licenses this week. Now, Fulton says the question becomes if truckers even know their license was pulled and if they plan to drive anyways.
I think the answer is probably yes. It's their livelihood and all this at this point. It's a tough time of year on this end of it.
The state told us it's pausing issuing term limit CDLs, but pointed out that term limit CDLs are just a small portion of Colorado's CDLs, about 1%, and the number of licenses revoked this week, just 0.24% of all CDLs in Colorado. The state says it also sent broader messaging to trucking companies to hopefully reach these drivers. Spencer Soisher, 9 News.
All right, Spencer, thank you.
After a record warm Christmas, finally going to look a little more like December this weekend. We are expecting some snow to move into the metro on Sunday, and because of that, Denver's activating its cold weather shelters. They'll start opening tomorrow afternoon, Saturday, and will stay open as long as the cold weather sticks around. Chris Bianchi, it's jarring to see people in t-shirts and shorts walking their dog the day after Christmas.
Yeah.
Even in Colorado where people do some crazy things.
And on Christmas, it was even warmer.
Yeah, this is the 5th, 6th straight day that we've been able to do that. Saw some guys playing tennis shirtless this morning on my run. I would imagine that a lot of folks are enjoying the nice weather, but it's about to change pretty dramatically for us here as we head into the weekend with a sharp cold front that moves through tomorrow night. And by Sunday, as mentioned, it's going to be snowing. We're about 36 hours away from that snow flying for us in the Denver area. And there's the cold front that's moving its way through Idaho, Utah, and Wyoming right now. It's a slow mover, but that is going to bring us some of that much colder air just in time for the back half of the weekend and for the final Sunday of 2025. Today, though, far from snow, we were at 66, close to another daily record for us here in Denver. As I mentioned, those temperatures that you see here, we're in the 50s right now as the sun's gone down, 30s and 40s in the mountains. It's all about to change. We're going to go from a temperature around 60 degrees about 3 p.m. tomorrow down about 22 with snow by Sunday morning. I'll show you how much snow you can expect and more details on the timing of that snow in just a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. Aurora police are investigating another shooting over the holidays, this time Christmas night. Aurora police say just before 11:30 last night, officers responded to a shooting on North Chester Street. Investigators say a woman called police claiming she shot her boyfriend during an altercation. Officers say they found a 31-year-old man with gunshot wounds who they rushed to the hospital. Police say the woman is cooperating with the investigation. They are working to learn more about what led up to that shooting.
A man involved in a break-in that ended in the death of a high school student was in court today. Cooper Miller did not show up for his last hearing, but now he's charged with felony burglary and robbery charges for the January 7th break-in that ended in the shooting death of 16-year-old Audrina Arrington. According to an arrest affidavit, Miller and another man entered her apartment in search of motorcycles and tools. As they entered the apartment, they struggled with her father. He told police he grabbed his gun, fired at the suspects, and one of them shot back. And one of those shots hit Audrina and killed her. Miller had originally been charged with second-degree murder. Those charges were dropped back in May. His next hearing will be January 26th.
A Navy veteran and deputy recruit with the Arapahoe County Sheriff's Office is stepping away from training after a deadly shooting in Georgia left his 5-year-old nephew without a place to live. David Domingo was 2.5 months into the Sheriff's Academy when his sister and mother were killed during a custody exchange involving his sister's son in Augusta, Georgia. Police say the boy's father is in custody facing murder charges. Domingo temporarily stepped away from training to begin the adoption process and bring the child to Colorado. He plans to enroll again in the next academy class and believes the situation will ultimately make him a better deputy.
Actually having to live through something you would typically see on Dateline NBC, it helps to build more empathy when you're dealing with the public, with your community. Understanding that listening is the most important thing, and then just doing the right thing by the people that you serve.
Domingo tells us he hopes to enroll in the academy again this spring.
Grand County commissioners are accusing the state government of violating their own wolf management plan. On December 11th, Colorado Parks and Wildlife re-released a wolf into Grand County, but after it had wandered into New Mexico. In letters to the governor and CPW's director, commissioners called this decision a, quote, unacceptable breach of trust and a direct violation of the state's wolf management plan, which says that problem wolves won't be relocated, as this is viewed as a translocation of the problem.
Re-releasing them where they'd already had problems, re-releasing a problem wolf. I mean, the plan clearly says that you're not supposed to do that.
CPW's acting director says they have released the wolf where they did because it was near a female wolf.